Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Well, we had a little surprise from Natasha Denona last week, didn't we? We thought we had seen everything from the brand for the year 2022, and then poof, onto the scene emerges the mini pastel eyeshadow palette and the Pastel Plexi Glow highlighter. Obviously, we got them both here. We're going to talk about them. We're going to do some comparisons. We're going to do some swatches in two different lightings and try them on. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, those of you who might notice that my time scheduling looks off, it's just because of these surprises and releases, new releases that have been coming out that push their way ahead of my usual content. But starting tomorrow, depending what day you watch this, I will be back on, for the most part, my regularly scheduled release times, if that's something that you're wondering what's happening with. There you go. Okay. So let's get started and let's do some comparisons. Let's first talk about these particular products. So we have our mini eyeshadow palette, which, as you know, from Natasha Denona used to be $25, but we've had a little bit of an increase lately on her minis to $27. This is the mini version of the midi pastel palette, but the shades are all new, and we're going to compare it to a few of her others. But here they are. Here we have one matte shade, which I have some questions with, you'll see in the demo. And then the rest we have Duochrome Mint with pink and gold shifts. We have two icy metallics that are pink and blue, an aqua matte, and a sparkling cobalt. I will try to use as many as I can in this eye look that we do today. This, by the way, is limited edition. Not all of her minis are. And with Natasha Denona, limited edition does seem to be the true words when she says it. But for $27, I was curious that the little highlighter that goes along with the collection seems to have taken a lot of the attention, hasn't it? This is the Pastel Plexi Glow highlighter, and it is $42. So it is the more it kind of took the spotlight away from the little mini eyeshadow palette. The interesting thing about this guy, and I'm not certain that my camera here is doing it justice, is it kind of swirls together into one 3D embossed surface gel powder formula shade of a kind of a golden, minty, icy color. But if you really look, we have some pink shades under that embossing, and it kind of goes icy blue and green. And I have watched Natasha Denona use it in kind of demos that she does, and she will pick and choose the shades. I'll show you that in the swatches. For most of us, we're going to swirl it all together and get a somewhat icy gold shade that I am wearing now, so you're probably kind of seeing it already. This highlighter is competing with lots of highlighter releases. Like we know Charlotte Tilbury's is around the corner, and Rare Beauty just had a big one released. I think there was another one in there too, guys. What am I forgetting? Tell me. But so we'll be interested to see if this one for $42 catches your attention. All right, let's look at them, and then let's do some comparisons and a demo, okay? So first of all, I'm going to show you here. Let me just show you what we're looking at. First, in studio lighting, we are going to have the mini pastel eyeshadow palette lined up, and then next to it right now, you're going to see three different highlight shades. By the way, this highlighter is good on the eyes as well, and we're going to try it on the eyes upcoming. But we have three. I tried to get my finger for the swatch into some different shades. If you really look at it, you might be able to see in the natural lighting coming up better. There are kind of a pinky hue to one, kind of a little bit more of an icy green hue to another. I don't know if you can really tell, but I did on those three swatches go into different areas of this highlighter palette. Maybe you'll see it better when we take this outside into the warm California sunshine. I know I'm making you some of you jealous in really cold temperatures this December. But take a look here and see if that maybe clears up some of that. I mean, that really is me going into the different kind of corners of the highlighter palette to let you guys see the different shade shifts. In the demo, we're just going to use it as one big swoosh because I am a one big swoosh girl, you know what I'm saying? But I want to just kind of show you that you can pick and choose those shades, and Natasha Denona does mention that. All right, let's do a little bit of comparison with the eyeshadow palette first. I'm not really sure we can get much comparison with the highlighter in terms of the way it's set up. Here is the original pastel palette. And you know, they're clearly kissing cousins here. Definitely pastel and mini pastel junior. You know else I thought of, and you guys might say this is totally off, but you know, just kind of indulge me here. I thought of the Retro Glam. I know the Retro Glam isn't pastel, but it has so many of those minty shades. I just wondered if they kind of mix and match. See, I kind of give myself some, I know, it's not pastel, but those minty greens, that kind of intrigued me to see them next to each other. So I do it in the swatch. Let me show you what I got here in the swatch. I kept that mini pastel above, and then beneath it I of course put the first thing I thought of, the midi pastel, the larger pastel palette, and then I, you know, indulge me, I put the Retro Glam underneath those two. So take a look at that here and let me know what you think. I do like me a nice kind of muted, minty, froggy green, so to speak. I don't know if this bright kind of spring green is my thing, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit in the demo, so I'd like you to stick around for that because I got a little bit of an opinion on that particular shade. All right, let's in fact go ahead and not waste any time and get to that demo right now of the Natasha Denona Pastel Eyeshadow Palette and Plexi Glow highlighter. Let's dig in and play with this. You'll have to forgive me, I want to do the highlighter first. Right? Are we kind of, I mean, you know, it's more money, it's interesting. I showed you some of the gradations and differences in the swatches, and I think it's minuscule. So let's just mix it. I know that I have seen Natasha Denona. I have watched her. She's a great instructor. Use little bits of it and parts of it. And I think that's cool. But, I mean, I'm just going to use it the way we are, right? That is a huge stripe of it, just for you to see. I won't go out of the house like this, I promise. Let's just kind of blend it in a little bit gently with my hands, but I'm going to really put it on forcefully, with force, with intent, so you guys can really kind of see it. Does it enhance some texture on my face? Yep. Is it a highlighter? Yep, that's what they do. You're very rarely going to find a highlighter. Maybe Wayne Goss's highlighter. You know, generally by nature, highlighters they highlight, so they'll. And this will be pretty on the eyes, as I said, it's for both. So I will make sure that I do a video with this on the eyes. I have a Dior video coming up. Maybe I'll do it on the eyes in the Dior video. But that's really pretty. Playing with the little variations in the shades, I'll let others do that. I'll try to do it a bit though for you, maybe on the eyes. It would show a little more. For the most part, I think that's the look most of us will get out of it. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't mind if you disagree. That's what makes us a community. Let's play with this, okay? So, knowing that I should have a matte really in the crease, I got some Sonia G brushes here. Because I have hooded eyes, I'll do this reluctantly. This is an awfully minty green for me, but let's do it. Why not look like an Easter egg right before New Year's? Interesting time for a release of a pastel palette. But pastel in winter kind of works, you know, just like winter white, right? Okay, let's do the other eye like that. Okay, let's see what we got here. Now I do need to go, I can't just put this in the crease, which is what I'm tempted to do because it's so bright. But let me say something, guys. First impression, fighting a little bit with that matte shade. Haven't seen that. You know, Natasha Denona used to have shades that would be kind of hit and miss or patchy. I don't find this patchy, but and it definitely is working with me, but I'm trying a bit harder than I normally would with Natasha Denona shadows. Take that for what you will, and let's see what happens as we move on here. Let's go ahead with this blue shade here in the, let's see if these have names. I'm sure they do. And if so, I'll put them up there when I edit. That's a little bit of an easier shade. I fought a little bit with that matte. I'm not going to lie. I don't hate it. I wouldn't not use it. I'm not giving it a thumbs down or anything like that, but it wasn't the easiest matte. Her usual creamier mattes are a little better, I think. Just saying. Okay, still using the same brush. How could you, Rebecca? Watch me. Okay, and that is really pretty and kind of a duochrome. So this is a look, you know, you gotta wanna have a pastel eye. That's why it's called the mini pastel palette, I know, but you know what I'm saying. For those of us, generally me, who thrive on neutrals and such, you know, might not be your thing. And I'm just using a clean, bigger brush here to just kind of blend a little bit. Very pretty. Look, it's really, really pretty, you guys. You just gotta like a non-neutral eye. I like this better than the actual pastel palette, and the colors look like they're doing really well. That matte fought me a little bit, and that's that one shade in there, but it wasn't overpowering or terrible. It's awfully pretty. I don't know, tell me what you guys think. It's a mini. So those of you who didn't buy the midi pastel, maybe, and I do like this better. I think it's a little bit more user-friendly. It's certainly pretty. Many of you will say it's kind of a bit of a spring palette, and I won't argue with you there. But it's kind of nice to bring some warmth into winter, and it's an icy pastel. So it kind of does work for winter, doesn't it? What do you guys think? And tell me your thoughts on this more expensive highlighter. I mean, we're waiting for Charlotte's highlighter. We just got the Rare Beauty, shockingly amazing highlighter. So what are we thinking of this one? And are you going in and fine tuning and picking through the different shades? I really am curious. I have a lot of questions to ask our community here. So make sure that you ask questions and answer questions below in comments, please. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. Hey, if you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe to this channel because we want to keep growing into the new year, and come and say a big hello over on TikTok and Instagram too. And you can support this channel by becoming a member or by giving super thanks. But I appreciate all of you on any level that you are involved, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye-bye.